The trade deadline is getting hotter and hotter. I think we have 5 trades to break down in today's video. We know that Randy Arozarena already got traded, and he spent his final few hours in Tampa Bay watching as a fan. Such a surreal moment for both him, his family, and the fans, everyone included. I cannot believe that Randy's gone. The Yankees and the Red Sox went full-blown Anakin versus Obi-Wan on Mustafar yesterday. That was a really fun game down in Fenway. And this starter for the White Sox, I'm not going to say his name yet, but I think, honestly, he might have just turned in the worst start of all time. We're going to talk about all of that and more in today's MLB recap. We do this almost every single day, so stick around, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save 20 bucks off. Also, if you like fantasy sports, my code Fuzzy on Underdog Fantasy gets new users a $250 bonus cash credit, and they got the Olympics going on right now. It's a lot of fun. Without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the 5 trades that happened over the last 24 hours. The biggest one being Zach Eflin of the Rays, who I think has the largest free agent contract in Rays history. It's not the biggest ever because we know that Wander Franco, his was an extension, but Zach Eflin and cash is going to the Orioles in exchange for 3 separate prospects. I'm not going to go super in-depth about these guys. Matthew Etzel, Jackson Baumeister, who probably is the biggest fish of the bunch, and also Mac Horvath. If I botched any of those names, I'm really sorry. Zach Eflin was incredible for the Rays last year. He led the American League in wins. He had a 3.5 ERA and 186 strikeouts. Again, he was very good. Not as good this year. The strikeouts have fallen off a cliff. He has a 4 ERA, but the Orioles, they're going to take what they can get in terms of pitching depth. They got Sir Anthony Dominguez. They picked up a Zach Eflin. Not too bad. Next up, we have James Paxton going back to the Red Sox. If you guys don't remember, Paxton was DFA'd by the Dodgers. A DFA is different than a release because a DFA means, hey, we're done with this guy, but not just yet. You can trade for him, and if no one trades for him, they can release him. Paxton is taking his 4.5 ERA back to Boston, where he was last year, where he also had a 4.5 ERA. So it's just a depth piece, maybe even a bullpen piece. I botched this guy's first name every time. I think it's Yimi Garcia. He's going to the Mariners, so the Mariners are adding even more pieces. Jonatan Clase, one of my favorite prospects, he's going back to the Blue Jays along with a young catcher, Jacob Sharp. But Yimi Garcia, he's been one of the better relief pitchers in the entire American League East this year. So that's a big-time add to the Mariners bullpen, who just lost Ryne Stanek. Ryne Stanek, who they acquired in the offseason, he's going to the Mets now in exchange for a guy named Rhylan Thomas. And by the way, James Paxton, he was traded for a guy named Moises Bolivar. I forgot to mention that. And last but not least, in regards to the trades, Yimi Garcia was not the only Blue Jays pitcher on the move. Nate Pearson, I cannot believe his tenure in Toronto is over because he was a full-blown super prospect. This guy was supposed to be Paul Skeens back in the day. Everyone thought that Nate Pearson was about to own Major League Baseball for a decade. He was a complete bust, and I'm hoping that the Cubs can pull a Julian Merriweather because Julian was not that great for the Blue Jays 2 seasons ago. He goes to the Cubs, and he's been a strikeout machine. Praying that happens for Nate Pearson. He's on his way to Chicago. And as a baseball fan, this just really stinks. So again, praying that Nate Pearson can fix things. And the Cubs, they have shown success at that. And it's been pretty recent success. Oh no, Christian Yelich's season is officially in jeopardy. The front office for the Brewers basically said that it's inevitable that he needs back surgery, and they're going to try and put it off for as long as they can because he's had an all-star season. They really need him, although the Brewers do have outfielders for days. They have Sal Frelick, Garrett Mitchell, Jackson Chourio, Blake Perkins, even a guy in AAA, Joey Wiemer, who was a great defender last year. So no one in the same conversation as Yelich aside from Chourio, but they do have some guys that can help out. So maybe the Brewers can stay afloat without Yelich, but if Freddie Peralta is not himself, they stand no chance in a playoff series. Brian De La Cruz is having a good/really bad season because you're thinking, wow, 18 home runs, that's really good. He has a god-awful 287 on base, and Jake Berger, the same exact thing. 13 home runs, cool, but an even worse 273 on base. Freddie's command got him into trouble again. He loaded the bases. He gets the final, never mind, Adames. He booted it, and Jazz's heads-up play allowed him to score from second base. So 2-run score on that play. The Marlins, they're up by 5, and look at this web gem from Nick Gordon, who I didn't even realize could play center field. Maybe I'm just missing. Maybe I'm a bad baseball fan and creator. I didn't know that he could play that good of an outfield. He robs Willie of 2 bases, and Reese said, yeah, I'm not going to hit it to that guy. I'm going to hit it past everyone. You can't rob what you can't catch, and that kind of does it for this game. Josh Bell, he somehow golfed the pitch out that was a foot off the plate for a home run 5 home runs over his last 10 games. I think he's 100% going to get traded, by the way, because he's a free agent after this year. Milwaukee, they kind of remind me of the Guardians because they have a good team on paper, a great start to the season, but if they don't add some help at the deadline, it's going to be tough to compete in the playoffs. Oh, this is surreal. Randy Arozarena, he's not on his way to Seattle yet. He's in the crowd. He went 20-20 in 3 consecutive seasons. That's 20 home runs and 20 stolen bases. One of the few outfielders to ever do that. He also hit .340 with 11 home runs and 33 playoff games. He was a World Baseball Classic star. He became a household name with the Rays after getting traded there from St. Louis. All right, back to the game. Cincy, they got 2 on in the first inning, and Jamir, he ripped a double down the line. Both Friedel and India score, but here comes Tampa Bay. Paredes, he scored on a Jose Siri ground out, and that was followed up by a game-tying Jose Caballero RBI single. Whoever scores next is going to win. And look, the Rays, they're threatening again in the 4th inning. 2 ducks are in a pond, and Noelvi Marte snags it at third base. He easily saves 2 from scoring, and Lodolo, he got out of that jam. There goes Randy. He's giving high fives. He's taking selfies all the way out, and it's just really surreal to see him actually leave the stadium after his family. They were emotional, and it was a both good and bad thing for Tampa Bay because their players love playing there, but it doesn't seem like their team loves them back. They just ship out anyone because they never want to pay them. Alexis Diaz now has 20 saves on the season. The Reds have won 3 games in a row. They're 4.5 games back of a wild card spot, whereas the Rays, it seems like they're really shifting gears for 2025 and beyond. And honestly, you guys have to let me know in the comments. Do you blame them for giving up on this season and building towards 2025 because Rasmussen's almost back, Springs is almost back? Might as well work to 2025 when everyone's healthy. Is Yusei Kikuchi making his final start as a Blue Jay? Everyone seems to think so. Adolis Garcia, he says, I know it's your last start, buddy, but I'm going to make it 1-0. Seager, he turned a nice double play to keep it scoreless, but he missed the bag. Everyone is safe now, and now Spencer Horwitz, he can do his thing. Spencer, he steals the lead with a long double. He's flexing at second base. That dude has very good defense. His exit velocities look pretty good as well. He has a 148 OPS plus on the season. Ernie Clement, his breakout year in the box, continue with the double to bring home Spencer. And if you're not looking, like if you're watching this with headphones on or something, please watch because I'm gonna miss this. Kevin Kiermaier, the 4-time Gold Glover, the Platinum Glover, he can still go get it with the best of them, one of the best that ever do it. A rocket off the bat from Langford, slicing away from him, and he still makes the grab. Jonah Heim, he showed why we all love this sick and beautiful game because the line drive was caught, but this dunk actually lands, and he ties it with the 2-run soft contact base hit. Is his name Leo? Leo Jimenez, the Jays are back up in front, which lasted all of like 13.4 seconds because Adolis, he muscled out a 2-run Apotaka home run. He had to wait for it to get confirmed. Yusei, his final out with the Jays is a strikeout, but man, 5 runs, 8 base hits over 4 2/3. Not a great way to go, and I wonder if his trade value just kind of went down, which is probably a good thing for other teams. Fast forward to the 7th, Danny Jansen tied it with a sac fly, and Spencer wait, is this going to fall? No, it does not. Adolis Garcia, he came out of nowhere. He makes the grab, then he fires to second base for the double play. We're in the bottom of the 9th now. The Jays, they held the Rangers at bay. In Texas, they're having trouble returning the favor. Yates, he's deployed with 2 runners on. He froze Jansen. He's 1 out away. They intentionally walk Spencer Horwitz, and Ernie Clement, he wins it. He walks it off. So combine that L with the Mariners and Astros both winning by the shutout. Not a great day for Rangers fans, if you ask me. Jason Fossler, he got the first inning hit parade going with a 2-run single, and then he came around to score on a Mitch Garver double. Garver has to go off. He did go 3 for 3 in this game, hoping that he can keep this up, but I do have a question for you guys. Remember that one episode of Jimmy Neutron where he created an auto home run baseball bat? I think the Mariners found that because they popped off for 4 home runs over the next few moments. Josh Rojas, he teed one up. By the way, that was an 89-mile-per-hour fastball from Drew Thorpe. I'm praying that Drew is okay because, this next pitch was a little bit faster at 91, but Dylan Moore is a big leaguer. He's not going to miss that. Drew Thorpe, he had to have had money on the Mariners. What are these pitches? That's back-to-back home runs. Maybe the worst outing I've seen from anyone this year. I genuinely will say that. Victor Robles goes yard. Jorge Polanco goes yard. The 4th home run by the Mariners. If he gets going and Randy Arozarena keeps on hitting and George Kirby keeps on being George Kirby, Seattle can be so dang good. 7 strikeouts over 7 scoreless as the Mariners crush the White Sox. I'm sorry, White Sox fans. Just move on. Now, I know I already kind of spoiled this game. We have a rematch of the Trash Can Series, and all jokes aside, I do want to say prayers up to Freddie Freeman and his family. His son is going through a medical situation right now. Again, my prayers are for him and his family. And I almost feel bad recapping this game. Baseball's always secondary. Lo Perfido, he showed off the skill set early. He singles in Jeremy Pena, and then Joey, he made a diving catch to Rob Ohtani. I will say, though, he kind of took a bad route, and then he went full dude perfect to make that grab. Alex Bregman, Breggy bombs are back. He has 13 home runs. He has a long way to go to make up for his pretty slow start to the first half. His OPS plus is finally back over 100, but he needs a strong second half and postseason to get that fat bag. John Singleton, goodness, bro, that ball had a family. As soon as he made contact, he was bat flipping. Framber Valdez, he cooked up a gem. He made it through 6 1/3 shutout with double-digit strikeouts, so he has a 2.7 ERA over his last 10 starts. Houston, they blanked the Dodgers 5-0 as the Astros, they defend their one-game lead over the Mariners in the AL West. The Minnesota Twins are pulling a Mariners. Byron Buxton, he smoked a home run. Trevor Larnach, he tagged a solo shot as well a few at-bats later. Here's a third home run. Matt hit one over the wall. Get it because his name is Matt Wallner. Javier Baez, who would have thought? Back-to-back games with a home run. Imagine if on a random week in late July that Javier Baez just figures it all out and becomes Javi all over again. Buxton, a 2-out RBI double. The long balls, they were not done for the Twins. Christian Vasquez, his third base hit of the day is a 2-run home run. And I did not know that Royce Lewis was back, and they did not send down Brooks Lee, so the Twins, they could be cooking something up pretty soon. Nothing came of a single, but I did want to show that Royce Lewis was back. And Pablo Lopez, he's been really good over the last few weeks. Not quite as good as George Kirby, who went 7 scoreless, but Pablo, he racked up 7 strikeouts as well over 7 innings. Minnesota, if they pick up another starting pitcher, as a Guardians fan, I'm absolutely terrified. The Yankees and the Red Sox. This was Obi-Wan versus Anakin on Mustafar, one of the more fun back-and-forth games of the year. Again, the Yankees, they're in Fenway. Anthony Volpe somehow got this ball to leave, and if this was Tampa Bay, I think that might have hit the roof. It was hit so high. His second home run in 4 days. Rafael Devers, he answers with an extra base hit, and same with the lefty masher, Rob Refsnyder. They both rope RBI doubles to steal the lead. This lead is going to go bye-bye for both teams. Boston lost the lead, then they got it back. It's 4-3 Boston in the 7th inning. Just admire this. 470 feet from one of the game's greatest players in history. I'm not even being dramatic. In my opinion, Judge is already a top 20 talent of all time. Debate a wall. I mean, the dude has 36 home runs and 92 RBIs before August. He still has 60-something games or something crazy like that. Austin Wells, back-to-back, and he's hitting 293 with 7 home runs and a 990 OPS since June 6th. He's been locked in. The Yankees, they look primed for a W. When Cedar Rafaela said, screw that, the rookie left everything. He makes it a 1-run game, and the Yankees had to deploy Clay Holmes, and he's just not been able to get whiffs, and he can't get guys to swing and miss. Wilyer Abreu and Masataka Yoshida, they combine for the go-ahead 3 RBIs, and the Red Sox do complete the comeback. Wilyer with the 2-base RBI, Masa with the 2 RBI base hit. Jansen, he reties Craig Kimbrell for the active lead with 430 career saves, and the Red Sox are 3.5 games back of the Yankees. They're also just 5.5 games back of the Orioles, which might not sound like a lot, but if you're an Orioles or a Yankees fan, the way that they've been playing, I think they're afraid of the Red Sox. I wish that Jordan Westbrook was a rookie. He could probably make it back-to-back Rookie of the Year awards for them, but he did exceed the rookie requirements in 2023. Jerks and Profar, see ya baseball. Baltimore, they got a second run on a ground out, so this is a game-time 2-run blast. Gunner's defense has been a little bit shaky lately, I won't lie, and staying with dude, this sentence is hard for me to say. Staying with some shaky defense. Say that 5 times out loud. Not saying that this was an easy play, but Heston, in my opinion, he's got to make that grab. Xander, he scores Manny, and the Baltimore native Jackson Merrill makes it 4-2. I guess that Sir Anthony Dominguez is already in Baltimore. He tossed a scoreless first appearance. Tony Taters, Anthony Santander has 29 home runs, and Mountcastle, he knotted things up with a sac fly. Who's going to take this game? I guess Jerks and Profar, and the Padres are. His second of the night is his biggest home run of the season. 431 feet off of Craig Kimbrell. Baltimore has to replace this guy. Robert Suarez finished it off. No save, though. The Padres, they've won 6 games in a row. They can pass the Arizona Diamondbacks in the wild card if the Arizona Diamondbacks can't beat the Pirates. So this was a tale of 2 halves. The Pittsburgh Pirates sprinted to a 3-0 lead. They got some big base hits from Josh Palacios and Andrew McCutchen. I really hope that Kutch can keep this up for 2 or 3 more years. But he is going to be 38 years old in October, so that's going to be a tall task. And this was all off of Zach Gallen, by the way, who has not been good lately. Jock Peterson, that is a real-life perfect home run straight out of MLB The Show. He was 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. He erased that with 1 swing. 453 feet, by the way. He has a 151 OPS plus. Gabriel Moreno, Mr. Gabby, he shoots one to right field. He hammers a slider for an RBI. Alek Thomas, he didn't have to do anything. A wild pitch gives Arizona their first lead of the day, and they kept it there. Sewald, he shut the door, and for the first time this year, Arizona is 4 games over 500. They've won 9 of their last 12 games. The Mets and the Braves are going to be fighting tooth and nail for that final wild card spot, and the Mets, they're looking for back-to-back dubs over the Braves. Kodai, he's back. He struck out 2 in the first inning, and I hate to spoil it, but this 2-run home run from Adam Duvall just kind of poked the bear. JD Martinez with the grandest of home runs. They signed him for $12 million. I wish that the Guardians would have made that deal. He's got 11 home runs and 44 RBIs with the 125 OPS plus in 74 games. Mark Vientos, Brett Beatty, who he stole the dude's job and never looked back. 14 home runs and a 155 OPS plus. The Mets, they hit around, and their 9th hitter of the inning just crushed a baseball as well. Francisco Alvarez, he went 410 feet. Kodai, he was electric. 9 strikeouts in 5 innings. No, he's back on the IL. His season is officially in jeopardy, according to the manager of the Mets. He had a calf strain. I was hoping that it was a cramp, but it's not. That really spoiled that game for me. You have Ozuna, who hit a home run, 29 home runs, 81 RBIs. Duvall grabbed his second of the game. Maybe Duvall is going to get shipped. I have no idea. But ultimately, both of those home runs were for nothing. New York handed Atlanta their 6th consecutive loss, whereas the Mets, they won 5 games in a row. Are the Braves about to slip out of a playoff spot? The NL wildcard standings are going to be, again, cinema, and the Cardinals are trying their best to stay up in them. Mackenzie Gore and Sonny Gray got torn up in this game. Luis Garcia Jr., he made it 2-0 on a sweet swing for the Nationals, and Mason Wynn, he pimped one. That ball got out in a hurry. Nolan Arenado, does this ball have enough juice? James Wood, he's 6'7". It just got past his glove. He leapt up. He tried to make that grab. I thought that he was going to catch it, not going to lie. Garcia Jr. and Wynn, they traded RBIs again, but we're going to skip to Juan Yepes because he doubled to score Jesse Winker. And now we're going to fast forward to the 7th. Juan, he tied it after his squad made it a 1-run game, so we're in the 10th inning now. Of course, it's a tie game because you can't have a extra inning game without it being tied. Dylan Carlson has a chance to be a hero. He missed it by a nanometer. Jacob Young, he clears the bases. He's super fast, so he's all the way to third with the triple. So it's 10-6 Washington. Nah. It's now 10-8. Goldie's 2,000th career base hit. It's a fun one. It's a 2-run missile, but unfortunately, he used up all of the momentum. No save for Cal Finnegan, but the Nationals do send St. Louis to a half game back of the Cardinals in the wild card standings. But both Arizona and St. Louis are on the outside looking in because they're like 1 and 1.5 game back. The Royals can be on the outside looking in on the AL side of things if they don't do what they need to do against the Cubs, and a loss would actually have them tie with Boston in the wild card instead of having sole possession of the final spot. Kind of a slow burn of a game. You saw Nico make a flying web gem, and Kyle Isbell, he wanted a spot in the top 10 plays as well. His catch and throw home saves the shutout for Brady Singer. Both starters went 5 scoreless. Wait, and let's say it can't get to this baseball. It drops. Adam Frazier gets a bloop RBI, and after Bobby also singled with 2 outs, Vinny Pasquantino, he serves one to right field. Frazier scores, so it's 3-0 Royals. And hey, kids, remember when Drew Thorpe threw a bunch of fastballs down the middle? Yeah, don't do that. Salvi, he deposited a meatball 430 feet for a 3-run home run. Singer, he went 7 scoreless, so guess what? His ERA is officially under 3, a 2.82 ERA. The Royals are not to be messed with, and I'm telling you that as a Guardians fan. Don't mess with the Royals. Also, don't mess with the Twins. I mean, we already saw the Twins embarrass the Tigers. The Royals just won, and thank goodness it was Friday, so naturally, David Fry had to do something. His RBI single up the gut was thanks to a Philly blunder because they picked off Angel Martinez. He ended up being safe. Ben Lively, he got some big-time help from the umpire. Marsh and Stott, they got hosed on strike 3. I mean, absolutely hosed on these pitches. What is going on? Hitting coach for the Phillies, Kevin Long, he got ejected. Phillies miscues. I mean, it was just a bad day all around. I don't know if there was a black cat running around Citizens Bank Park. Andres Gimenez bunted on for a single. He stole second after he also got picked off, and it was just a bad throw to second base. He scores on a Bo Naylor sac bunt. Everyone's safe. I mean, what is going on with the Phillies? Another RBI single, this time for Angel Martinez. Philly got their lone run in much louder fashion. My friend Bryson Stott hit a solo home run, and then he had his third base hit in the 9th inning. Weston, he's the game-tying run, but book it. Emmanuel Clase, 32 saves. The Guardians have a 4.5 game lead in the AL Central, in large part because Ben Lively has saved the rotation. Every single run in this next game, came on the long ball. Taylor Ward and Nolan Schanuel, they both cracked 2-run home runs. Taylor Ward, he's been linked to Cleveland, by the way, which would be insane. I'm not going to lie. Nolan Schanuel, he's really unlocked the power stroke. He has 10 home runs. Seth Brown and Brent Rooker, they know a thing or two about power strokes. Seth has 4 home runs in his last 8 starts. And Brent Rooker, he's looking like Big Mac at this point. 25 home runs. He somehow pulled a 415-foot home run on a slider away. Okay, I lied. Seth Brown, he won the game after he got a ball to just stay fair. They called it foul, but they overturned it with replay, so the go-ahead scores. Last chance with Rendon. I already kind of spoiled it. Anticlimactic of me. Lucas Erceg, he gets the save in replacement of Mason Miller. The A's have won 13 of their last 20 games. What is with these cookies down the middle? At least give these guys some milk to wash it down. Maybe a napkin or something like that. Soler, he then singled in his second RBI. If Brenton Doyle cannot get there, no one can. Soler, he has 3 RBIs already. And, okay, Tyler Fitzgerald, we get it. You're very, very good. 8 consecutive games with an extra base hit after that 2-run blast. He knew it as soon as it left the bat. Lefty Kyle Harrison, he was out of his mind. He was looking like Gambit in the Marvel comics. I don't know comic books that well, but hey, he's dicing guys up left and right. I think he had 10 strikeouts after 6 innings. Tyler, no way. Tyler Fitzgerald is the first Giants hitter since Barry Bonds to have 7+ home runs over 8 games. I don't know why they don't just say 8 home runs over 8 games. Kyle Harrison, he got Chris Bryant 3 times. KB is just not the same guy anymore. Harrison, he's out after 11 strikeouts, just 1 base hit allowed. And here we go. This is huge. Elliot Ramos, he flexed that elite bat speed with a 3-run laser beam. He's got 15 home runs, 52 RBIs in just 68 games. He's been the best player on the Giants this year, but Tyler Fitzgerald, he's not messing around either. Well, everyone, that does it for today's recap. If you guys enjoyed or you learned something new we talked about a lot today, do me a favor, leave a like on the video, subscribe for more, and enjoy the web gems.
Oh, what a diving step by Jimenez. He just rocked. And Langford shoots this into the gap. Kiermaier, long way to go.
Backhand Lipscomb. He's going to steal a hit from a guy that does it.
Chop towards short. Nice play by Edwards.
Now it's simplified.
Looped over first, and a great sliding catch by Biggio. That's a double play as Dubon was on his...
To get in the game, and that's going to be at Zach Geloff. He'll jump up.